Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the best early game build for Crimson Desert, going over the best weapons, armor, skill points, tips, tricks, and strategies to give you the best start possible because there's a lot of mechanics, so we should focus on the ones that matter most. Now, there's a lot of different abilities that I would recommend upgrading, but one of the first things you should typically do is upgrade your stamina. This is similar in a lot of games like this, like Tears of the Kingdom, where you just have to have that upgrade to be able to progress further in certain areas, but it'll make combat a whole lot easier. Alongside that, I'm also going to recommend this armor set here because not only does this look amazing, but you don't even have to spend your hard-earned money on it because you likely got a lot of the points required. So we're actually going to come right over to this section here in the main city, and this is going to be an area that you're in often in this game, so you want to get familiarized with it. So the blacksmithing area is around there. You're just going to go right up the path to this section here, and there's going to be a commission store that we can go into. So once we make our way over into here, you likely already got the points required to be able to upgrade this, so I'd recommend coming here and grabbing some of these great armor sets with the points that you would have gotten. Now, you likely are going to have enough to be able to get the plate armor and cloak from this, or the helmet. I'd recommend grabbing the helmet actually, just to get a slot that you don't already have. But this will be much better than the armor that you're starting with, and you can also get this upgraded later. Speaking of upgrades, if you come straight down on the map here, this location where all the blacksmiths are, you can actually purchase some items here, especially after you beat the first boss, Matthias. You'll be able to purchase his armor from Rhett here. But if you come inside, this is where we get our upgrades. There's gonna be a smithy here you're gonna select onto, and you can actually upgrade. And the items you're going to be wanting to look out for are things like iron ore, copper ore, timber, as well as if you can get perfect timber, as this is going to be what you upgrade your items with. Cloaks will use cloth and fleece, as well as rings will take small bones, so you want to be able to look out for all those. Also, pet every dog that you see. You can do this 5 times per day. Once they get to 100, you can actually adopt the dogs. And if you come up the street a little bit, you're going to want to do this in every city that you go to. There's going to be these bell towers. Now, you can climb up them and ring the bell. It's going to open up your map a bit more, somewhat similar to like Assassin's Creed. Now, if you want to get a different weapon early on in the game, we're actually going to come back to this area by the bridge where you would have been at the first of the game. So there's the bridge there. We're going to come straight north. You're going to come right to where it says the Three Saints Falls there. And you're going to come up. There's a little puzzle. You just have to light both of these candles. And it's going to unlock a chested area there where you can just go and get a new weapon. And boom. Now, you will actually get another weapon earlier as well. That is pretty good if you follow the main story. So don't be too alarmed if you find the damage isn't super high on this. I'd actually recommend, you don't have to get this, but if you want something a little different, you can upgrade this weapon as well. And here's a really easy 2-for-1 to open up the map even further, as well as get one of the best early game shields. So the starting town where we were just at is just right over here, and we're going to come up diagonally up to this area here. So once you get to this spot, you're going to come into this building here, which has a bell. So just go ahead and ring that, opening up a huge chunk of the map, and then come down from the bell tower just a little bit, and there's like a broken window here that you can climb into. And inside there'll be a chest with a shield. Now, if you are using one of the starter shields, this will slow you down a bit, but it gives you a damage reduction 1.0 and guard stamina cost reduction, which is very important. You're going to use your shield quite a bit in this game, so this is a worthwhile one to take. And you can, of course, find rings and things on the ground. I would recommend just grabbing these and equipping whatever you're able to find. I'd also recommend filling out a helmet slot, as that just gives you more armor. I also want to mention upgrades for the horse because you're going to be on your horse often in this game. So the saddlery is just right over here, and you can get some stamina boosting items. I'd recommend coming to this shop just because of how often you will be on your horse. This is also where you can get hay and horse tonic to be able to heal your horse. But yeah, you want to be grabbing some of these items here if you don't have them already and putting them on your horse for that extra stamina recovery. And if you go inside that building, you can manage your horses as well. And if you're looking to get some more money in this game, one of the most difficult things early on is that, but thievery is kind of the best way to do it. You actually have to equip a mask here if you're going to want to be able to do any criminal behavior. Just be mindful if you do have a mask on that you may get spotted for this. And anytime you steal, you don't want to get spotted by other people, and you can actually leave a red circle to be avoiding that. But yeah, crime is kind of the way to go. And if you're looking for the perfect place to do some crime, it's actually this manor right here. It's right beside the main city there. So I would recommend going in there, and you can actually get some good unique items as well in there. But I'll be doing future guides on where to get money because that's kind of a complicated process. You're going to want to steal a lot of stuff, like even the wagons. You can sell those to a black market vendor. Now, another thing is fast travel in this game. You do want to be able to do it properly. So you can actually press the right back triggers and actually not end up being able to teleport. So if you have that equipped, you're going to see those disappear. So make sure that that's not disappearing on you. And you can teleport to these. It's going to be one of the quickest ways. Drop down to the main city. So you can oftentimes just do that if you need to get back quickly. And if you're ever looking for anything on the ground to search out, you can press the left and right bumpers here, and that's going to open up the shining sword here so you can, oh god. Yeah, the controls in this game, as you guys probably are aware, are a little bit annoying at times. You have to press them both together. You're going to likely do this in combat when you don't want to and you want to do the other weapon skills, but you can use this to find any little location. So if you're having a hard time looking for stuff, try doing this. Now for our skill tree, there's actually a lot of really good options here. Early on, stab is going to be a really good opener, so you press right bumper plus Y to do a wind up attack, and you can actually do this through some super armor with an upgrade, but I would honestly recommend upgrading your stamina at least a couple times. So it's going to take 1 point for the first couple upgrades, the next one's going to cost 2, so you got to be mindful of what areas you want to upgrade, but I'd recommend at least getting 2 upgrades early on, just because this allows you to not only fight better in combat, but it's going to open up your exploration a lot more, allow you to glide further, and a whole lot of other things, not just in combat. So I'd recommend first 2 points there. Then we're going to come into the stab attack. This is just a really good item to have upgraded. You can then do the skewering, but I prefer having the swift stab, which press the right bumper after a successful charge stab to perform a follow-up attack. So you can open up with this and then have another attack afterwards. That's really nice, but at the very least, just having 1 point into here is good. Ideally, later on, you want to get that rend armor here once you've upgraded stab a little bit further. This will allow you to then rip through super armor, which is really nice, but not super necessary in the early game. Now, one of the skills that I use insane amount is the turning slash. Is when you press your right bumper and right trigger. This attack is crazy. You can also charge it up. It knocks down most weaker enemies. I would recommend upgrading this if at all possible at any time, just because of how useful this is going to be. Now, another good skill tree is coming down here in a focus. Being able to press your sticks and be able to slow time down. This just makes things a whole lot easier, almost trivializing some fights with the ability to just get a lot of extra hits in. So this is one that I just recommend upgrading and grabbing right away, and you can further upgrade it with the focus repulsion here, which is going to put a pushback whenever you're in this, whenever you press the right bumper while in your focus. This is another nice upgrade I'd recommend grabbing. Also with the force palm here, this is actually a really interesting one, because if you go with the healing force palm, anytime that your horse is injured, you can use this to be able to recover them. It's also good in a variety of different situations, so you can actually upgrade this, and it costs 5 spirits, so it's not that crazy. I would recommend grabbing this though, just because you're going to end up exploring and having your horse run off cliffs. It happens. Being able to heal them is nice. It is good to also work your way down here. Ideally, we'd want to get to the end here. So getting an illusion that copies your attacks, you do need keen senses level 3. So we need to level this up to level 3, as well as a forward slash to level 3, which is currently at level 1. So that's something we're working towards later on. Forward slash just being your heavy attack with the right trigger. This is a nice one to upgrade if you can get these skills available to be able to upgrade it, but I would recommend doing that a little later. So for the final points, I'd actually recommend upgrading our stamina up to like 3 or 4, ideally 3. This is because once you get your stamina up to that number here, you can see our stamina bar has a lot more points on it, so we can sprint more, explore more, but also when it comes to combat, that means that we're able to do more actions in a row. Now, as for combat, we have a really good opener with that back trigger right bumper attack. You can parry relatively easy, so I'd recommend tapping your shoulder button. This will also allow you to focus in on an enemy too, and it's great because you can always use your right trigger to then do a shield bash attack. But this right trigger right bumper, if you have the spirit, is going to be your best opener in the early game. When it comes to multiple enemies like this, our best strategies are actually to try and engage these single targets by themselves. You also have a special enhanced dodge. If you press and hold your dodge button, you get that enhanced dodge there. We can also stun people whenever they use their any type of red attack there. You can use the force palm by pressing your right stick and be able to attack and do a interrupting attack base there. Now, there's a lot of enemies here, so whenever we're in fights like this, it's typically best to try and get one of them to just engage on their own. We can actually pull back just like this and single them out. That's typically going to be the best thing. Try to keep them away from your horse. We don't want them to go down because they can take damage. So yeah, you see there, openings, take those. It's kind of a strategy of moving in, bobbing and weaving throughout. Whenever you're in boss-like encounters, you do have to focus a little bit more on like the dodge heavy mechanics, but the spirit opener, if you got the spirit, is going to be the best way to start off. And you can see there we got a pretty devastating attack. Another thing that I took a while to understand is that you can heal yourself in this game. So using food like you saw there, whenever your health is low, it's right on the D-pad. My horse, I'm just trying to avoid them getting hurt in this, but yeah, you want to be trying to stick a little bit away. Find those openings. It's kind of like a Souls-like game in a sense, but the only downside is that there is a delay between your attacks. Opening up with your the right trigger seems to be one of the better options, and then if you can get in a position to attack enemies multiple times, use your bumper. That's going to be the better option there. But as far as combat goes, it's really just in we're getting bombed on here. You try to engage them by one at a time. So yeah, with this, we're just trying to look and see if you can get multiple of that like that. You do have to move your camera around often too. It's another thing, but as long as you're watching your health bar and using food to be able to recover, you'll be able to take down enemies relatively easy. Use your different skills as you get them too, and don't go into large groups just like that. Another thing is you can experiment with going between your light and heavy combo. This can sometimes just get you in a really good stagger lock there where the enemy has a harder time responding, but it's a good it's a good engagement tool to use that right back trigger. Make sure you're always aiming towards the target that you want to attack. Watch out for those double axe guys too. There's something that they're drinking in the morning that's got them right hyped up. Really hard to counter, but you also have dodge attacks as well, so you can go for the if you go in for a dodge, you can do more of like a trip style attack. But yeah, experiment with going between your light and heavies. You're gonna find different combos that work well for the engagement that you need to use, and it's different by boss to boss. And yeah, once you get down to the final target, typically it's best to go through the cannon fodder first and then get to the final target here, like this axe target that's just a pain to deal with. But if this video is useful, feel free to hit the subscribe button below. I'll be putting out more Crimson Desert content. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments too. I'm usually pretty quick to get back to anything that people are wondering about. So yeah, have yourself a great day, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.